Welcome to the JaxPGaming channel. Today we're going to be diving into something brand new. An idea I had is July 24th, 2025, and July is the month of superheroes apparently. July is the month where Marvel and DC go head to head to see practically who has the brighter future. Marvel has history, especially in the movie scene. A lot of popular movies, a lot of rich history, and what DC has that Marvel doesn't is the brand new feeling, the freshness kind of. It's gonna start something new that we haven't seen before, and hopefully being taken more seriously in a more grand scheme of things plan, like Marvel has so far. So today's July 24th, so luckily I was able to watch Fantastic Four. It was a very good movie, and so was Superman. I've seen both movies now, feel fresh, just fresh off the theater. I've been waiting for Fantastic Four to come out so I could kind of compare them in my head. So personally, in my history, I'm more of a DC guy, at least comic wise. I'm more of a DC guy, but overall, just movies wise, Marvel's always gotten the upper hand on DC. And so since that's been the case, I just feel more excited over the fact that we had a good Superman movie. Nothing wrong with Man of Steel. Nothing wrong at all with freaking BTS, I think is the acronym people give it. Sorry, this song is just not it. That's better. A lot better. Anyways, so a good Superman movie that finally came out. It feels nice, as a not Marvel fan. I am a Marvel fan, but as a DC Comics fan, growing up, I was a big Teen Titans kid. I was a Young Justice lover. I was all DC 2000, Batman 2004, Batman the animated series, but that was before my time. Superman, JLA. I was big into all those type of media. So I'm just excited really for the DC and Shadow Batman 2022. We still don't have any idea when part 2 might happen, but hopefully it does at one point. But overall, my whole rambling goes on about because of my excitement for DC's future, which compared to Marvel's kind of at this awkward point where it's like, what's gonna happen next? Like I feel, at least as a consumer of the media, I haven't watched every Marvel movie to be honest, but I feel like at one point, especially during Phase 4, I think it was, or Phase 5, one of those phases, I feel like they were just throwing them out there because it's kind of like they had a monopoly over the game at one point. It felt like that when you want a superhero movie, you could really only go to Marvel because the DC movies, DC's Zack Snyder films, that universe, whatever you want to call it, it wasn't the best, sadly. And there was some gems, but not really. I think Justice League Snyder cut, was it good? I didn't watch it. Not the Snyder cut, at least. But let's get into the meat and the butter, or whatever you want to say, about Fantastic Four and Superman. So let's start with the pros of each movie. They both have beautiful colors. The CGI looks really cool. The overall feeling of the movie, it has a very warm kind of, like, you feel like you're reading it straight from the comic books, which is really cool. You feel like it's just coming into, like, it genuinely feels like it's something that you read straight off a page for both movies. The Fantastic Four movie is just the most recent one I have in my head. It feels very family orientated, very much, like powering to the people, powering to what an individual can do besides his powers. I feel like watching Reed Richards go crazy on the board about all his everything, practically trying to calculate every possible thing about the lever, whatever the heck. I feel like it was a very, very just cool. What is this music? I'm just trying to find something nice. Alright, anyways, it felt like it was very just like, I feel like I could do, like, not be Reed Richards, of course, but if you put your effort into it and just really like lock in on some astrophysics, like you can make it at least to that type of level of education or of knowledge. And with the whole family orientation, like even how Johnny Storm is a big, like, even though he's kind of weird, he's a big loser for those types of just women and space are his thing. So when he saw when he saw the Silver Surfette, I don't know her name, Jessica or something like, or she's from another planet. When he saw her, he was just mesmerized. It was a very like human thing. And then the the Thing. I'm bad with names, and this is fresh recording. The Thing was really cool. The Thing, and then his accent and like the way he would like, if you, the only one that you would see always walking around the city was him. Yeah, it was him. And then, but Superman also has these type of qualities where it's like, even though you don't see as much as the what's it called, of him interacting with the citizens, you see his presence being felt, you see his impact everywhere, and you see him trying to be bigger than he actually is, if that makes sense. You see him attempting to, interact and connect with all the citizens, even when they don't like him, and then whenever he feels anger, you gotta understand, this not might be the freshest Superman, but it's still a young Superman. He still doesn't have people's opinion like 100%. So it's a young Superman going up against a very hater-esque Lex Luthor with that's just is going after him. And the thing, like, especially his apparent message, like everything that went on in that movie, it was very just like, it felt new, and it felt very bright, and it felt very impactful to the overall, it's just world building, you understand? And then Mr. Terrific was amazing. Metamorpho was really cool to watch. All of the supporting cast, Green Lantern, Hot Girl, they were all very cool, and it felt like a really nice, just like a superhero movie, And to the point where like when Superman was talking to Lois Lane while the Justice Society, I think, the Justice Society was in the background just fighting with some alien thing, whatever it was. The CGI there was so beautiful, and like I watched that movie in 3D just because I thought it would be fun. It was so mesmerizing in a way, because everything going on in the background, and you should see Superman talking to Lois Lane just about his issues, about like his state of mind, like how like this has affected him mentally. And then whenever he turns himself in after he had that conversation with Lois Lane, just to be able to like help what's his name, Crypto, I think it's Crypto the dog, help Crypto, that doesn't sound right, help Crypto out and just be there for him, even though he's not a good dog like he says. It's very interesting. So both movies have a lot of pros. Like they have I'm excited for the future on both. But the real meat and potatoes is like, which one is better and which one, to me personally, am I most excited for? So the thing about, and let's start off with Marvel, just because Marvel is the richest in history. The thing about Marvel is that this is a good movie. Fantastic Four is a good movie. But the thing about Marvel is they're running out of time. They're running out of resources. We have the X-Men now that are going to be the next up and coming, and we have Doomsday, and all the news coming out about all the potential leaks and all the different things that are going on. Robert Downey Jr. actually being Doomsday, something like that. If you read practically, what's that? I forgot I'm bad with names, but where Doomsday takes over the world practically, and he makes the forgot. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Alright, and I was saying Doomsday when I meant to say Doctor Doom. I'm recording? Yeah, I'm recording. So when Doctor Doom in Secret Wars, which is the one I was trying to say, and I knew I was just double checking, because in Doctor Doom in Secret Wars, when he creates Battle World practically, and trying to make the perfect world where every universe is connected and everything, and blah 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 blah. Is it good? If you want to know more about it, you should go search it up. Comic Historian, Comic Variants, there's a bunch of other YouTube channels. It ends. That's the thing. That way, I don't want to spoil it, but Franklin Richards plays a big part at the end, and there's a reboot, and that's where Marvel is headed towards, a kind of a reboot. And Kevin Feige recently came out and talked about it. And so it's kind of like, yes, amazing movie. It was a great movie. I love Fantastic Four. I will rewatch it tomorrow. It's actually a really good movie. I had a great time in the movie theaters. It was such a beautiful. I would love to see a trilogy from it, multiple movies. I just don't want, and I'm pretty sure it will. And X-Men too. I'm excited for that. But Marvel-wise, and like, it's just now it's going to another direction. It's heading towards another side of their IPs. But with DC, they're fresh, bro. They're so fresh. Like, yeah, they've been DC movies, but we don't really count them because they haven't been good. Like every type of DC universe, even the animated one, like there's a couple good movies. Like Under the Red Hood is a favorite of mine. You know, Batman War or not Batman, Superman War, Justice League, JLA, all those animated. Those are wonderful movies. But then you're gonna have to get in the nitty gritty with the Infinite Crisis. Flashpoint's an amazing movie. The first one, not the live action. The actual Flashpoint is a great like recommendation for whoever wants to just watch it. But then you see Flash, and then you see like it's just disappointing. But now that we have we have new direction, we have just new overall, what's this? Alright, give me 1 second again. We have James Gunn. That's what I'm trying to say. We have James Gunn, who is so far when it comes to Suicide Squad, and he also did what's it called? And shout out because this is an amazing movie, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And I think he did 1 and 3 and 2 maybe. I'm not sure if he did 2, but Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy was a very fun trilogy to watch. And overall, I mean, like, the potential's there. And I'm not saying like, bro, I'm really excited for Secret Wars. Don't get it twisted. I'm really excited for Secret Wars. I'm super excited. God Emperor Doom, and I hope, oh my God, God willing, I hope they do the scene where God Emperor Doom grabs Thanos and just pulls his spines out. A lot of people don't even know about that. Like in the actual civilian world, like outside of the comic books, they don't know about that. And just imagine, like after seeing the Marvel movies where what's it called, Infinity War, and the one after Infinity War, there's not Endgame. They should, after seeing those 2 movies, seeing how big of a threat Thanos is, imagine seeing I was gonna say Doomsday again. Imagine seeing Doctor Doom, Emperor Doom, God Emperor Doom come in and just rip his spine out and just see him disintegrate. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be an insane live action, like just human interaction where it's gonna be buzzing everywhere. I'm so excited. Shout out Pedro Pascal too, 210 representative. And yes, he has a tendency to be pretty touchy, but he gets an anxiety. That's not it's not his fault. Anxiety happens. Some people just have weird tendency with their hands. But overall, to give these movies ratings, I'm gonna give Superman a solid, because it's the first movie of the whole franchise, starting fresh. I'm gonna give Superman a solid. I'm gonna give it an 8.4. 8.4 on my scale. Yeah, it felt high stakes, but like Lex Luthor, Superman, I've seen it millions of times. It was a really good movie. Shout out Mr. Fantastic. He put the 0.4 on there, Mr. Fantastic by himself. He put the 0.4, and then Green Lantern, he put like, I want to say he put like 0.2. Hot Girl doing her whole like, I'm not Superman, 0.1 right there, and then the rest is Superman and Lois Lane. Ooh, Daily Bugle was amazing. That's the whole 8.4 right there, Daily Bugle. The way he was walking around with the clipboard. Poster Johnny or whatever his name is. And then Fantastic Four might be recency bias, to be honest, but I'm gonna give that one, like, genuinely Fantastic Four 8.6, man. That thing was just 2.2 better than Superman. 0.2, just 0.2 better. Nothing crazy, but still, again, I just hope you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed the rant. And if you like hero stuff and movies and stuff like that, especially when it comes to comics, man, I am a comic nerd, and it's something I should really try to express on this channel instead of just gaming my life away and trying to post whatever video games I can. I love superheroes, bro, and I love movies in general. I can go off about movies, so I'm gonna start trying to do that more, start trying to venture out. But yeah, if you liked it, please subscribe, like, and just please watch a video. Please just watch it. Thank you guys, and it's JaxPGaming. Goodbye.